About 9 days ago I made this video, massive pump on Bitcoin, where I said I anticipate a huge move up for BTC because there was so much lining up for us to go higher. That 9 days there was approximately here, well guess what, a couple days later we got the big move up. I also made another video about 1 or 2 days ago, I think it was 2 days ago, where I said the pump is not over yet, we're going higher, and also price moved higher. And now I'm telling you that I think we can again expect another leg to the upside, but first we need to create a higher low, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm looking at in this video. So if you like the content, guys, do me a favor by liking, subscribing, clicking the bell, clicking all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment and share this video with your friends if you think this is useful. Now let's get into the content. This is BTC on the daily, and like I said, we had a pretty big move up from the breakout. There was more than 11% without really any retrace, so we're actually more than due for a little bit of a cool off, but I expect that to be somewhat mild and then to have another move to the upside. If we're zooming out, then you can see that price found acceptance in that very big volume profile. That is great, that is bullish news, and I'm very happy about that. So yeah, principle would say that you would now just go down to backtest maybe the very low and then to go higher. I'm really seeing that more as a range, because you can see that we had so many lows. Some of them were perfect touches, some weren't, and I really seen it as a range that needs to hold. So if I am drawing a box, something like this, then I want to see this box being hold for today, tomorrow, and then to go higher again. I don't want to lose it again because that is super bearish. Matter of fact, I actually don't want to close a daily candle underneath this thick yellow line, and that's then representing this these double tops here. So actually I don't want to see price to go underneath. So if we eventually go a little bit lower and bottom out here for a little bit and then to go higher, that would be great. The bottom out preferably to see on the 4 hour. Now let's zoom in here on the 4 hour. Here actually it still looks very good. If I'm just looking at market Cipher B, then you can see that yes, now the money flow and the momentum wave is coming down a little bit, but that's of course because the price is coming down, but it doesn't look like a major topping sign. So I'm actually expecting in the next 8 to 12 hours, so that at least on Friday that we're having a green dot and then moving back up to the upside again. So let this bottom out, find some kind of a base, and then to go higher again. This so far still looks very good for continuation, but of course nothing goes up and down in a straight line. Everything will zig and zag. This hourly actually is already clipping, but let's say we do something like this, and we would even maybe get a bullish divergence on the 1 hour. So let's say price goes down one more time, dips into that area, makes a lower low, momentum wave makes a higher low, then the 4 hour also bottoms out, and then we can go higher again. That would be the absolute dream scenario. With that being said, I do not have a exact price level. There are a few things that I'm looking at. I'm like, okay, that could be a bounce. I'm not preceding anything. I am going to see how price develops and how the bottom will look like, and if I eventually decide to pull the trigger on a long trade, I will update the members in Discord, which by the way is completely for free. So if you want to join the Discord, then please do so. The link is in the description, and yeah, like I said, you're there in Discord. I'm talking about crypto, talking about alts, talking about future markets, about stocks, about pretty much anything. It's completely for free to join, and I'm giving you my exact outlook, which coins I'm looking at, which coins I want to trade, what are great levels to enter. So if you want to check that out, please do so. Link in the description, again completely for free. I also pulled here a anchored VWAP. This is something that could be nice. It lines up perfectly now with that value area low. That would be then around 90,400. This could be a very nice level to trade, but again, I'm not presetting anything. Let's say suddenly something of tariff comes out and we're just wicking lower and then go higher. Therefore, I don't want to get stopped out. I will behind the screens, and I want to see that bottom develop. Eventually, I enter the trade. If I do, again, I will update on Discord, and then I will probably use a little bit of a wider stop loss just in case price comes down again. But again, in the macro for the next couple of days, week or 2 weeks, I still think that we can go much higher. Main target that I'm looking at, this one is a big one, 96.97. It is the macro golden pocket measured from the absolute high to the absolute low that we created in the last couple weeks. So that is this high right here, there you go, and this low right here, back to their golden pocket. So this one is major important. And as you can see, it also lines up with that macro POC. So this is just a major level to reclaim. If we reclaim 97,000 on a daily candle, I think an all-time high is pretty much a given, because above there's not a whole lot of resistance anymore. I think we can go much higher. I'm not only looking at BTC, I'm also looking at a lot of alts. We have seen major moves in the last day or two. So also here, some consolidation, some cooling off is more than due and is more than welcome. For example, yesterday Turbo went up 60% in a day-to-day basis, and from the top to the bottom we're talking about more than 200%. Major move. So I'm also here looking now for a higher low, wherever that time may be. I will also look at ETH and BTC at the same time, seeing if that kind of matches up, because you know how it goes. Usually BTC dumps, the rest of the altcoin market also dumps. So I want to see the bottoming out, but you can see here we already had a major move, and I think price is getting ready for another move up. Another great example was Trump. Yesterday there was an announcement that maybe he wants to have a dinner with the people who are holding his coin. Well, it pumped up 70%. Now it's also coming down. I'm also here looking for some kind of bottoming sign, maybe the golden pocket. You can see that hourly is already curving to the upside. VWAP close to the zero line. This actually looks good to fire off a long any second now. Also something that has been popping off is Popcat. Also holding up pretty strong if we're looking here from the top to the bottom. Also more than 60% in a matter of just 2-3 days. Also here, this bottoming sign actually looks pretty good. Again, I'm probably gonna wait for BTC to give me a good bottom, maybe on New York Open, and then I will enter a trade. But so far the levels are really being respected. It's so nice to see now that we have some good volatility on the alts again, and most important, we see a complete decoupling between the regular stock market and crypto since as last Monday. It's like in the weekend we flip the page, and if now the future market or the ES and Q goes up, we do not see Bitcoin going up, and the other way around, because we have seen some crazy dumps in the last 72 hours on the future market, and crypto did not move at all. So that is perfect. That is actually what you want to see if you are bullish on the long term, and I am that. I also already told you in that video, again, if you don't believe me, why I am so extremely bullish and how much was lining up at the moment I made the video for more upside. Then the decoupling of the NQ and the ES with crypto is the cherry on the cake. That is actually what you want to see, and then we can go much higher. And that's also exactly what we're seeing right now. Whoops. So I just want to see that continue for now. Again, there are a lot of alts that I'm looking at. There are a lot of alts that I want to take a position at. And yes, I'm aiming for new local highs, or the high that we made yesterday, for that to be taken out. We're easily talking about already 10, 20, 30% unleveraged moves. So now that we have some volatility back and it still looks pretty good, the price is just looking for a macro high or low, I think we can see a lot of upside in the next couple of days. So make sure that you utilize this before we're going into consolidation mode again. Whatever I'm entering, whatever I'm scalping, I will drop it in the Discord. So again, feel free to check that out. It's completely for free. Links in the description. And when you're down there anyways, also make sure that you like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all, so that you don't miss anything. See you guys very soon again in the next one. Bye bye.